Hey guys, what is up? Joseph Allen here to give you some more guitar lessons live on Facebook. For the next 6 weeks, I will be doing free guitar lessons. This is week number 2. If you missed out on the last week, just go check it out. You see it on my news feed. It's easy to find. Just scroll down a little bit and you can get you some more guitar lessons. So for the next 6 weeks, I'm doing guitar lessons. If you did it with me, it would be like $150. It's $25 a lesson. With most people, that'd cost you 40 to 50 bucks a lesson minimum. So I'm like half the price. I always say I am the cheapest guy around. And even super good quality lessons, I can teach you as good as anybody around, and in my opinion, better. So, and glory to the Lord for that. He's blessed me with a lot of stuff, and I don't take any of the talents I have for granted. They don't come from me. They come absolutely from Him. Now, if it stinks, I will claim that myself if I ever play, which I get more of those than not. But today, for the next 6 weeks, we've had people ask what they want to teach, and they have asked for fingerstyle. So I am here today to give you fingerstyle lessons in a series as we keep just climbing up the ladder on difficulty and challenges, starting off really simple during the lesson and then just climbing up tiers. Here's a technique and how to take it from the beginner and then go all the way to more of more of an intermediate expert kind of level of playing. And so if you have not already, okay, my guitar book just got published, which if I can get that kind of more in front of the screen, you can grab right now for free an ebook copy. All you got to do is go down in the comments below this video and click on the link and go and get your free copy of the ebook today. I'm not going to be doing that forever, but for limited time right now, I'm going to be doing that because I want to help people out as much as I possibly can. So, having said that, go grab it right now, and we actually learn from tons of stuff, lessons that we're doing right now, so it's going to be a great grab. So put this on pause or let it come back, go grab it and come back and check that out, or even stick around and then go grab it. But grab it right now, yours. It's absolutely free, and it's all Christian music. That's one thing I'm really excited about the most, is I put that back up here so I can see what we're going to kind of go over today. You like my mount right now? My mount broke, and so I've got this microphone being held with rubber bands. You just gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. Ain't easy being a rock star. All right. And then, so what we're going to talk about today is affectionately what is typically called the toada. Now, the toada, it's like, what in tarnation is that? And it's like, well, the toada had one of my students tell me it's called sounds like the tostado. I don't speak Spanish. That's probably even more of a rancher. I don't know the origin. Texas rancher Spanish. I know the origin, but hey, if you like Mexican food, get a tostada. Just remember that, toada, tostada. There you go. And so what we're going to kind of look at with this is, if you think fingerstyle, this is probably just the absolute main go-to. Every fingerstylist needs to know this. If you don't, it's just the absolute go-to of all fingerstyles, and it's used in so much music, extremely in music. And I'm doing a little bit of a different setup today. I'm trying to combat Facebook. They're not really and the programs are not letting my stuff talk and kind of go through, so it makes it really quiet. So if you're having trouble hearing, let me know, and I'll see what I can do from my end. I'm trying to make it better this week. I think I fixed all the bugs, if Facebook will kind of cooperate in my programs a little bit. So I hope this week does a whole lot better, because I enjoy being on here on Facebook, and so I hope my equipment will talk with it this time. It's not my gear that's the problem. So let's look at this right now. So again, we're going to be this week we're going to kind of we're going to kind of stay in the key of G. A lot of players play in the key of G. Last week we covered key of A. Key of A is absolutely my favorite to play in, and I think it's one that's great to start in. So we're going to do the key of G, as I'm kind of looking back and forth at my phone my phone's off to the side from my left hand. How you play the G chord. Well, you're going to start with your first, I guess you're going to start with your second finger, on your hand right here. And you're going to take it and you're going to place it on the 3rd fret of that low E string on your 6th string. Then you're going to take your 1st finger and you're going to place it on the 2nd fret of the A string, of the 5th string, lowest, one of the 2nd lowest strings. Then you're going to take your 3rd finger and place it all the way down at the bottom on the 3rd fret on the high E string right down there. And that's what we're going to kind of start out with right there is a G chord. And you're going to strike all the strings down. Now what's great about this is the next chord we're going to learn is the C chord. If I'm going a little fast, just pause the video, back it up, whatever you need to do. Everybody's at different levels, and there is no problem with struggling to play a G chord. I was there. Okay, it's like, that when you're starting out, the G chord is just hard. I don't care who you are, but it can do so much climbing up the neck. A lot of times when you have trouble with the chord, it's because it can do multiple things. The G chord is absolutely one of those that it just can make your way all the way up and down the neck. The next chord I want to kind of show you guys is the C chord. Now the C chord, what we're going to be doing is placing our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, 2nd lowest string. Then you're going to take your 2nd finger, oops, if I play the right one, and you're going to place it on the D string, which is the 4th string. Wow, I think in Portuguese to English you have those brain just locking moments. Wow. 4th string, the D string, 4th string on the 2nd fret. Then you're going to take your 1st finger and you're going to place it on the 1st fret of the B string, so the 2nd string. And it sounds something like this. Yeah, there we go. Now, the next chord and you play 5 strings down. Because in fingerstyle, when you're finger picking, you're relating to the root note that you're going to hit down and stuff like this. Even strumming, you do it, but fingerstyle is like so much more important with it. So 5 strings down. Avoid hitting that top string. Don't want to make any noise out of that. Some people can like slide their 3rd finger kind of on it. You're pressing on that 5th string, but when you hit it, just nothing comes out. That's extremely common to do, and I'll admit I even do it sometimes, but my philosophy is I really stay away from it unless I'm wanting to get more of a rock kind of sound, to get more of that grit and power behind it. And my philosophy is you wouldn't have to mute the string if you had more accuracy, so just get more accuracy. That's the best thing absolutely for you. So leave it open and don't play it as best you can. It takes time to get used to, but once you get used to it, you'll understand what I mean, and it comes quickly. The next chord we're going to play is a D chord. Now, the D chord is, we're going to play, we learned this last week, so if you've been practicing this week, then hey, you already know this chord, so you're only having to learn 2 chords this week, which is absolutely awesome. So, we're going to have our 1st finger on the 2nd fret on the G string, on the 3rd string. Then you're going to take your 2nd finger, 2nd fret of the high E string. Then you'll take your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. If you already know these chords, hang in there. We're starting from the bottom and we're building our way up to some more intermediate and advanced stuff, so just sit tight. In the D chord, you'll hit 4 strings down. Try to miss those. And those other strings, don't play those top low strings. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to learn the fingerstyle to play with these chords. So what we're going to start with is the G chord, and I'm going to use it I'm going to use it as an example. So when we're playing, now let's go to my right hand. I think the delay should be better on the cameras too. I had a lot of delay last week, so I think I fixed that as well. You're going to start with your thumb on the 6th string. And the thumb will change depending on what your root note is for the chord, but that's the only finger that's going to change. All your other 3 fingers are going to stay exactly the same, because in fingerstyle, typically we play with your thumb, index, middle, and ring. You can use your pinky. I use it sometimes, but set standard when you're starting out in fingerstyle is just thumb, index, middle, and your ring, which is called P-I-M-A. Polegar, indicador, medio, analam. And get more in the Italian sense, and then the Latin. I learned it more in Portuguese, but that's going to be the just international language for it. And so what we're going to do with this is you're going to strike your thumb, your P, on the root notes, and then your I, your index, will stay on that G string, on that 3rd string. It will not move. It's going to hold down the 4 on that string. Your middle finger, your M, is going to stay on that B string. I'm trying to translate in my head while I say these. I think in Portuguese when I play the guitar. And then your ring finger, A, is going to play that high E string. So the root will change, but the other 3, 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st string, high E string, they will own those 3. They're not going to move. And you're just going to go down. We're creating like a little triad, a little fingerstyle feel. So it goes something like, it's really pretty. Get a feel for that. If you're someone that's really slow, starting out, that is no problem at all. Now when you make your way over to the C, you're going to strike the 5th string, the A string, on that root note, and then you're going to pluck the same 3 strings as the G. Make your way over to the D chord. You're going to strike the 4th string with your thumb, and then the same 3, the G, the B, and the high E. Now we're going to put these together. So the key of G, we're going to go G chord, C chord, G chord, D chord. Okay? G, C, D, excuse me, G, C, G, D. Okay? G, C, G, D. And so when we look at that, it's going to go something like this. So we start out 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, here comes the C chord. Going back to the G. Now here comes that D chord. It can be a little tricky to get to that. That shape changes a whole lot. And back to the G. Very nice. All right. I think you guys can speed it up just a little bit. So let's try to get a little bit faster. You're doing such a great job. I believe in you. Come on. You got this. All right. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. C chord. Yeah, back to the G. Going to the D. My homeschooler math wasn't wrong. And in on the G. Very nice. All right. Well, you might be thinking, that's just one of the set standards of fingerstyle, the toada or the tostada, if it helps you remember it and you love Mexican food, like me, really Tex-Mex. I'm not much of a Mexican food person. I am Tex-Mex. Yes, I am from Texas. God bless Texas. And so, when we're looking at that, that's just the set standard fingerstyle. When you think of fingerstyle, this one's going to come up all the time. Know this one backwards and forwards. And you might be thinking, hey, Joe, that's great. That's a little easy for me. And if you're someone like Joe, I'm already overwhelmed, that's totally okay. Practice this. Slow it down. Play nice, smooth, and accurate. Whatever's most comfortable for you. If your fastest speed clean is that's okay. If you're faster speed, if you're like, I'm already moving, Joe, that's great too. Everybody's at different places. There's nothing wrong with either one. You're there. You might be someone that's like a whole lot faster. I don't know. You might be someone that's like, a lot faster playing. You might be somewhere like right there. That's totally okay too. We're all just advancing. So, all right, what I want to do, if it's a little too easy for you, we're going to up it up a little bit. So let's play it a little faster, and then we'll kind of get into some more of the working up the neck with it and even trying to play it in more of a folk style. So we got this and 2 more tiers after that. So we're going to go a little faster now. All right, so yeah, you know what? We're going to go straight into it. Maybe you're someone that's trying to advance on the speed a little bit. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Maybe you're someone that's trying to work up the speed. And so it's like, how do I get that speed? Well, a great way to get that speed, to develop it, is when you take the 3 strings you're going to play and you just, instead of playing them all at the same time, you're going to do like a roll. So like that, but fast. So like, and you see how it's almost at the exact same time, but there's a delay. It's microscopic, but it's there. That's what you're aiming for. You don't want but you want that roll. And you're like, Joe, what's that going to help me do? Well, because if you want to play it that fast, that's what it's going to sound like when you play it. I'm going to go over to the E minor chord. If you are trying to work this up, the E minor is pretty straightforward. Just your first finger on the 2nd fret of the A string and your 2nd finger on the 4th string on the D. And you play all of them. This is a great just open chord. It's what I started on, and I think it's great. So when we do that, and you're going to try to get it up to something like this. Careful not to mute the strings, because that's not the way you play it. They go in consecutive order. Keep it open. You hear the difference? And if I pluck them, it doesn't have that fullness. And that's what you're trying to go for, but still fast. It's really easy to shut it off, so be mindful of that. So when you're doing that, and you might be able to go, that might be all you can do. That's okay. Quick bursts, and then you're going to be working into it. And so eventually, I like to add a little bass run in here because I like to just roll a little bit better. When I roll down, I kind of start here and pick that finger up. if you get a little bored. You don't have to. And you'll work it up. Really fun to play on a 12-string guitar. What is it? What is it? Throw some chords in there. Little bass runs. Ooh. Comment below if you know what song that was. It's Christian. Comment below if you know what song I was playing. It's a fun song to play. It's a little bit easier to play on a 12-string guitar if you have access to a 12-string guitar. That technique and that little trill is actually a little easier to play. Strangely enough, it was for me. Maybe it's not for y'all. Y'all thinking 12 strings, you gotta just think, okay, man, I can't play 6. It's like, well, I think it was. I think there's more openness and it just rolls off your hand a little bit better. So that's a great way just to increase your speed. A great little technique, a little exercise that I love to do is taking a G chord. Let's go back to the G chord. And let's look at, let's say, yeah, we're going to take we're going to take your 3 fingers, your P, your I, and your M, polegar, indicador, middle, P-I-M, and thumb, index, and middle in English. And basically what you're going to do, you're going to strike those top 3 low strings. Then, I'm kind of adjusting off the sound hole so the camera can see my hand a little bit better, but you always want to make sure you're playing straight in the middle of the sound hole. I'm adjusting for my camera angle's sake over here, but keep that in mind. Play right in the middle of the sound hole. Don't play down here. You won't get as much projection. Tone will kind of get off a little bit. But when you do that, those three strings, and then your I and your M, your index and your middle, are going to go down to the D and G string. They just move down a string each. So it's like move down 2 more, move down 2 more. Play that. Then your thumb will start to come down while those 2 are still the same. Then your thumb's gonna go back up a string at a time. Play the right thing. Then your other 2 fingers are gonna start climbing down. Try to go through that again, real slow. 1 and 2. I used to go 1, 2, 3, and. Now you might be thinking, maybe that's a little slow for you. We're going to speed it up just a little bit, so something like this. You might be thinking, Joe, that's still a little too slow for me. Maybe we're overwhelmed. If you're overwhelmed, that's okay. Play the slower speed. You gotta play accurate. Don't be like me, get 10 years into it and having to go back to learn 101 basics. Okay, keep on trucking. Just checking, make sure how long I've been here. I don't want to keep y'all too long. Okay, and so we're gonna go a little bit faster. So it's going to go. All right, try it again. Maybe that's too slow. Kind of work it up. I'm a little choppy. My hand's not warmed up yet. It's still really cold. Right? Try to work it up like that. That's a great little exercise to build up your speed and kind of really be able to work those faster notes with some being really fluid. If you're struggling a little bit, maybe your hand, because a lot of times when people play faster, their hand gets really tight. They start to hold their hand that gets tighter. When you want to do the complete opposite, when your hand tightens up like that, you actually become unable to do more things. You can do less stuff. You can play less. You become slower. And you want to keep your hand as loose as possible, basically enough where you keep it together and you keep your hands in position, but you don't want any tension. Think of like, it's really a poor example, but think of like Jell-O, how it has a shape, but when you shake it, it still moves around and it's like fluid and everything like that. Your hands really kind of want to be like Jell-O. It's a very poor description, but so really loose. A great way you can keep it loose is when you hang your arm off to the side, just like let it dangle by your waist. I don't know if the camera can see that, but I just let my arm hang down by my waist, and I'll just let my hand shake loose. So it's kind of like when my hand dangles by my waist, and I kind of just shake it like that. Not hard, but just kind of like getting it loose. That's a great little technique. Of course, it sits down here by my waist. I just let it dangle, and I just kind of shake it loose, you know, just like that. And it's a great little technique people do. When you learn with some more experienced players, a great way to just loosen up. Yeah, didn't know that, did you? There's a little pro tip right there. You want to loosen up, just do something like that, and kind of go back to it. And that when you stop, after a while, you feel that loose feel in your arm. That's what you're wanting to play. That's that feeling when you're striking, strumming. That's the feeling you want in your hand when you play the guitar. Exactly when it just sits there and hangs. That's the feeling. So when you go back to it, and you play a little bit more, yeah, I played that a little bit better even. You loosen up your arm a little bit. You guys get the idea. I'm stumbling a little bit, but the point is a little sloppy. I'm sorry. I didn't warm up today. But what you do is a little off. Do that, and it's going to play a lot better. Now, something I want to do is, like, if this has been, you know, still easy for you, something we're going to do is one last technique that I think is really cool. What was that? Yeah, we're going to kind of implement the tawada a little bit. I'm going to play the straight tawada so you don't have to learn new fingerstyle. I prefer it played more. Something like that. What we're going to do is we're going to take a G chord, and we're going to play it just a little bit differently. We're not going to play it like this. I call it the worship G chord. It's been around for forever. Comment below if you know what that song is. Yes, it's Christian. All right, and then so what we're going to do right here is how you had your third finger on the bottom of the G. Play a straight up G chord, making sure my chord hand's still on the screen. And what you're going to do is you're going to take that bottom finger, it's on the high E, and you're going to put it up just one string on the same fret. You're not moving, and you're going to put your pinky down right where the other one was. So you got your pinky, your fourth finger on the high E. You got your third finger, your ring finger on the B. They're both on the third fret. And that's just our straight up worship G chord. There you go. It's played in every worship song across the world. You know this song, you know so many. But what we're going to do is we're not even going to worry about the pinky. So you can keep your pinky off. You can leave it there if you want. You don't have to. You just don't want to play it or make noise with it on that string. So what we're going to do is play that G. And we're going to slide up, as I'm kind of out of tune right now. And we're going to slide up to the, what is it, 5, 7, 8th fret. Am I still on screen? Not really. Alright, let's try that. The 8th fret. What this does is create like a C chord. So when we play the toada, what I forgot to mention here is instead of playing, you know, on the G string, the B string, and then the high E, you're just going to move those 3 fingers up. So you're going to be playing the 4th string, 3rd string, and 2nd string. D string, G string, and the B string. Right? And you're going to work your way up. The toada is still the exact same. Slide up to the 8th fret. Back down to the G chord. And then you got to go all the way up to the 10th. Isn't that pretty? It's a G chord. On the 8th fret, it becomes a C. All you're doing is taking that G chord, sliding up to the 8th fret, go back to the G, and then you're going to slide up to the 10th fret. You're just playing the G chord. That's all you're doing. You're not playing anything else. It's the same chord shape, which is absolutely awesome. So do it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slide up to the C. That's a C chord on the 8th fret. More of an open. Slide up to the 10th. That's a D. And what this does, I guess it's kind of like a C2. I guess what that would be, a C2. Yeah, La, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol. It's kind of like a C2. Do, Re, Mi. Yeah. C2. If you want the correct, you know, the more specific terminology. And then on the D, Do, Re, Mi, Fa. Yeah, that's right. D, G, Fa, Sol. And this is like a D4. So you could say it's like a D suspension. D4, D suspension, D add 4, whatever you want to call it. Be a little more specific. So, and let's kind of run through that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. C on the 8th fret. Back down to G. Going up to 10th for the D. Back down to the G. And it's really pretty because when you start to get, so see, that's why maybe some of you struggle with the G chord, because you're playing tons of stuff. There's a lot of things going on. And that's just a great little way to kind of open the neck up a little bit and play some more chords where, you know, you might want to play down low. There's days you do that. Some of the biggest songs of all time. People make careers off 4 chords in a capo, y'all. You can't knock it. But then sometimes when you want to change it up, different timbre. One's not wrong. One's not better than the other. It's, you know, a situation to put them in. I kind of like to play a little bit more like this with a little hesitation. Changes the mood entirely, doesn't it? right? Sorry for the mistakes. That's all right there. Little improvisation going on a little bit. But you can see what you can really do with fingerstyle, and just taking a simple G chord and just knowing where to go up on the neck can just absolutely change everything and make it sound amazing. So like those little, those little, what a lot of people call them, those little country chords, little cowboy chords down there, they are the key to many, many things. You just have to know how to use them. So please don't forget to download the free ebook you can grab right now, and or you want to grab and listen to a song this week, Life Isn't Fair, and you want to know why life isn't fair. Jesus, love to comment, love to message me, whatever. I'd love to tell you about him. If you don't know about him, I pray you do. He's the best thing that's happened in my life, and I want to share him with others. He can change your life. Do you feel like your life's hit the all-time low? Do you feel like you've hit rock bottom? Do you feel like you don't have anywhere to go? Is there something more to this life? What's going on? I would love to tell you about him and how he can help you and change you. Why life isn't fair. Message me and click the song also in the comments below, and take a peek at that. And don't forget to download the ebook. It's free. All Christian music, my guitar book, and take a look at my academy. You can find my website in that link, the same link for the ebook as well. I'd love for you to go see my website. It helps me out so much by you checking it out. It is all commercial free. There are no advertisements on my website or my videos. Do I lose money doing that? Absolutely, but I want to make it a safe place for the family and for the kids, because nowadays you can't really control tons of what people put on your stuff in terms of ads, and I don't want anything that would be shameful to my Savior on my videos, and so I keep that in a God-honoring way, and take a little blows for that, but Lord takes care of me in that in every way, and so I want to make this a great place. So go check out my website, want some lessons, stay tuned for more free ones, and honor God in all your ways. Remember, you deny the Lord before man, you deny Jesus before man, he'll deny you before the Father in heaven. So take a stand for Christ, love God with all your heart, and love your neighbor as yourself. And I pray you guys have a blessed week, and stay in tune for next Friday as we go over some more great fingerstyle tricks, tips, whatever you want to say, and we learn some more cool stuff. I hope you enjoyed the lesson today, and I hope you will comment below, engage, maybe let me know something you want to learn as a fingerstylist. You never know, there's tons of cool stuff out there. Let me know below, guys. I think I made the time. Yeah, right at 38 minutes. Fantastic. God bless y'all, and stay in the steps. Thank y'all.